Yeah, today didn't go as planned at all.
At all. We had well, you'd think we'd be used to it, making plans and then just getting kicked. But
it's just I don't know why, but I get hopeful again, and then it's the worst thing to do.
I think that's IVF. Hope is literally all you have.
It feels like every time you downgrade your expectations, so you have to downgrade.
You get a new
again.
low.
It's a new low.
It's just amazing.
I had 5 good-looking follicles. It was the best looking ovary I'd ever seen in the time that we've been doing.
But only one of your ovaries, though, hey?
Yeah, one. But they were good-looking follicles. So I thought, okay, we've got 5 good-looking follicles. We're going to get 5 eggs, just based on previous experience. So then the doctor came out and told me we had 3, and I was like, okay, that's a downgrade, but we're okay. We're still in a good position. I called you then.
Yeah, you called me, yeah.
And said, do you still want to go ahead with fertilizing? And you were
and
like,
we were still.
Yeah, because we
had a few
3 fresh and 7 frozen.
Yep,
so we're like, that's probably enough. And then the embryologist called.
And
this is the part that's hard and confusing. This makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because she said that out of the 3 eggs, 2 of them. So what she said was when she was looking from the outside, because they look at in the normal thing. So basically there was technically 4 eggs, but the 3rd one they already knew at the hospital that it wasn't looking great. So then they got back to the lab and they looked under it, and from the outside looking in, she couldn't visualize the spindle, the spindle. And then when they looked on the stronger microscope, they found spindles, but they didn't feel like they were very good quality eggs. And then I was just like, well, hang on a second. And then she's like, we can still use them, we can still fertilize them. And I was like, well, this isn't smart.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? So that means essentially we've got one good fresh egg.
Yeah, and we were going to freeze the straw. Well, and we still don't know the quality. What did I say?
Freeze.
Yeah.
But what's concerning me now, what's scaring me now, is I'm starting to really worry about egg quality, which I just hate, because I was just like, how can it's just 2, there's no consistency. Like I had 9 eggs 1 month, and then I had good looking follicles but no eggs, and I don't know what's happening. And I'm just exhausted by being hopeful.
Just tired.
Because I thought I was back on the meds that I need this month, and my follicles looked good, and I thought it was going to be all right. So, I mean, I guess it's just when you make plans. If we were just planning to do an egg freeze today, we wouldn't be as disappointed. Although I feel like we only got 1 egg today. And it sort of makes me wonder, because there is an element to this which we don't talk about, which is that we could be we've done 9 months of egg collections trying to use up this leftover sperm, and so far we have 0 to show for that. And what if
we've used 1 straw? So.
Yeah, but what if we spend another year doing this and we have nothing to show for it?
We're not spending another year doing it.
But if I keep producing 1 egg, then we either have to stop doing it, and this is what I'm like, you can't, it's easy for you to say that, but I'm there trying to figure out what to do.
No, but we can't. It's like everything, we can't.
But the thing is, if I was saying, okay, well, I'm not producing any follicles or any eggs, there's no point trying. It feels like one element of today was pretty bad luck. Because the follicles were there, and normally I retrieve
New doctor as well.
Normally I retrieve the same amount of eggs as follicles. Today I didn't. So that was new. And normally all of my eggs are mature and they can visualize the spindle. So today feels like in a lot of ways just a bit of bad luck.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that next month will be better.
Or it could be.
It could be. The only other piece of data that I have is that after a couple of months on my preferred meds, I come good. When I got the 9 eggs, that was after 2 months of being on my normal, meds.
Yeah, I do agree.
The other factor is we still have to wait for the results of the Emma and Alice. There's probably still going to be endometritis there, so we've got to wait for that to be sorted out anyway. So we may as well just keep collecting.
In the holding pattern.
Yeah.
A holding pattern, but
I keep trying to remind myself that this isn't going to go any faster, because we still have to sort out the endometritis.
We still have to sort
out
the endometritis. Yeah.
You know what it's like? We're battling.
We're sort of on so many different fronts.
We're so many fronts. We're battling the endometritis. Yeah. We're battling this your sperm issue, and then we're battling the low egg numbers, and now it seems like issues with the eggs.
Yeah.
So, but then there's also this element of well, we can't transfer anything until we're 100% sure the endometritis is gone, because that's what caused our loss.
Yes, that's what,
But it's just so frustrating, because if we'd taken a stitching time back then, this is the thing that breaks my heart, if we'd taken the time back then and done the Emma and Alice before we transferred, we would not even know this pain right now. And that's the bit that just kills me. And that's why I'm like, well, we have to take the moment now, because we have to use the sperm. Because what if in 4 years' time we're regretting not doing this now, the same way we're regretting not doing that then?
Yep.
So it's exhausting, but yet we don't have a choice.
No, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired. And like, God love them, all the other women in the hospital today were like, oh, is it your first time? And I'm like, no, I've done it a few times, but I never say. And they're like, oh, it's my 4th time. And I'm like, that sounds really hard, because I genuinely mean it is really hard. And then I hear them get their egg numbers and they get like 23 eggs. And I know that, I don't know what their fertilization situation is and, you know, whatever, but I'm just like, man, I just feel like it's slipping further and further away. And I think something we don't acknowledge a lot of the time is that there are degrees of IVF. And I know that there's a degree that's worse than us as well. And there's a degree that, but this one that we're in right now, it's like almost bad enough to stop, but not quite.
And we have so much knowledge now, it's just, we pretty much know every step, and the possibilities,
I
we
don't,
know the possibilities,
because we keep
and we
getting
don't know
new curveballs.
That's what I mean. We know the possibilities, but yeah.
And I'm worried that we'll run out the clock on, I mean, the only maybe saving grace is that my lining does look good every single month consistently, except when I was on the antibiotics, but and if we could just
and even then came back.
Yeah, but it, like, literally I have to get ready again, because in 5 days time I have to have a biopsy, 2 biopsies.
Well, you're a little lucky, you're a little earlier this time.
Well, I get a few days off.
You're a day early,
I
2 days.
I get 3 days off.
3 days.
3
days
extra
early,
days off.
3 extra days.
I don't know. I'm not complaining. And this is the thing, like, I always am like, oh, well, you know, I came home and I hopped in, you know, bed and had a nap with Daddy, and I'm just like, you know, I know that there's a lot to be grateful for, but then it also just breaks my heart, because I just wanted to have a sibling. I want to have a family. I want us to have a family. And I just wish I could look in hindsight, because I'm like, maybe those 7 eggs are all we need. Maybe they're all we're going to get. We have to spend the next 6 months doing this, and it's so physical for me. Like,
that's what's hard for me. Just watching her. It is so physical. And the emotional roller coaster.
and then the finances as well. Like, it just...
That's fun.
I hate to say this, but every time I get hopeful, that's when it happens. Because if we were just like last month, we only got 1 egg. Today we technically got 3. Technically we got 4. They only froze 3. But I don't want them to fertilize those 2 eggs that don't have spindles. I don't want them to use your sperm on that. So that's now what it's made me realize, is that we don't just need the eggs that we need more than the eggs that we need, because we need to be able to discard the ones that don't look very good. So that means how much longer? Like, how many more?
I don't know.
Oh, God. And like last time we fertilized, it could all be for nothing. But what do we do? Like,
we're doing it.
We just have to keep going. It's so weird as well, because I feel great. I remembered that the times when we've been told that we were out and had to stop, and I'm like, at least it's not that. We're still going. You know, I saw two. You know, one of my main doctor and another doctor today, and they're like, you know, just gotta keep going. So, it's so dumb. Like, I just feel like it's my fault as well. Like, I'm like, what could I have eaten better? Could I have done anything?
Definitely not done.
I think maybe the spindles not being there has to do with maturity.
Well, they were there. They found them.
You know, the other element, actually, now when I think of it, one of the eggs was 23. The others were more like 17.
7. It might have been just a bit.
They might have been just a bit small. So maybe that's positive. Maybe it's not an issue with me. No, it's just an issue with timing. We've just been unlucky with timing. That we've been unlucky with medications and with timing. This is why IVF works for nobody. But you do increase your chances the more you do it. So So we'll do it again next month. Hopefully I'll have 2 ovaries going next month.
God help you.
That's just really hopeful. The scans looked really good.
Yeah.
How are you going?
Yeah. As you can see, I don't have anywhere near as many words as Laura.
Yeah, but you're still
I find it
affected
just
by
as hard. I do find it just as hard. The biggest thing is actually just trying to.
I was looking forward to
Offer
getting some
something as
answers today as well. Like if we'd
Yeah,
fertilised
if
at
we had
least,
fertilised,
whether it would have been positive or negative, we would have had some more answers. We would,
Yeah.
And maybe we would have had an embryo, you know, like by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But also if we'd used these poor quality eggs, maybe we'd have nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what the one thing we've learnt is we don't take bad shots. And this would have been a bad shot today.
Yeah, we don't need to take a shot. Laura called me and we quickly discussed it. We said, no, let's just put a pin in that. Let's wait.
Maybe next month we'll get a good number of fresh eggs.
And then we've actually got a...
Yeah. I think I'm going to ask if I can start on the higher dose of meds that I finish this one
That's
up.
interesting.
Because I need them all to come up at the same time.
Laura had her meds increased after
after 9 days. Yeah. And maybe, like, I don't know if it'll be too much for me to be on that from the start, but it seems like the big one takes off. Because what happened as well
because then it fed the big one.
Well, from the last 3 or 4 days of the cycle, the medium one stayed the same size and the big one grew. So, I don't know. I don't know. This is the thing, like, everyone's just guessing, really.
Yeah.
The doctors are estimating, the patients are guessing.
Estimating.
Well, I mean, the doctors know what they're talking about, but they can't control anything.
No. I know you're doing your best.
No, I thought today was going to be good. I had a plan.
Yeah.
You know, I had a plan.
That's why people end up getting very general and vague in their plans because then they can't be as disappointed.
Yeah. Well, we usually are. I mean, we do have now 10 eggs in the freezer, but I know for sure that 2 of them are no good. So I consider that to be 8 eggs in the freezer. So I said I wanted 14 before we defrosted the good straw sperm. So let's see what it is next month. I still think the plan we had today of taking the fresh eggs, defrosting a poorer quality sample, and thawing eggs one by one.
Quality, it's just we actually don't know what's in them.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't.
I spoke to the embryologist again today.
But apparently they've graded the straws, and this is
what I was talking to a woman about today. It's like she was saying, "Oh, my doctor said I only have a 20% chance," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that's a percentage doesn't indicate your success rate.
Yeah.
If you're in the 20%, then you're 100% a winner. You know what I mean? So just because they say 20%, if you're in that 20%, then you don't care because you've had 100% success rate, right?
It's a funny thing. It brings up that story that I listened to with Alan Pease one time. He got told he had cancer, and the doctor goes, "You've got a 2% chance of living." And he goes, "Right, I want the 2%." And he went, "Well, you can't choose. Like, I want to be the 2%. He goes, "Well, I'm going to do all you can."
Well, I mean, for a start, we already are in the percentage that is one because we have a child and we have embryos. And there is also an element of hard work contributes to putting you in. But we're just, I mean, God, 21 egg collections. 21 egg collections. Like, I've made hundreds of eggs. But that's why I don't want to fertilise poor looking eggs, because I know what happens when we do that. We end up with nothing.
Yeah.
So, but I still think the strategy's good. We just have to try and employ the strategy again next month. Because if we can use some fresh eggs and then defrost the eggs, and speaking to the embryologist, they are on board with that plan. And then as soon as we start getting some fresh eggs, I think maybe today was just bad luck. But gee, we've had a lot of bad luck.
And this is sort of the first one with the meds and things like that, real one.
I know that when I'm on these meds for a number of cycles, I tend to get better. But the other thing is, we look for patterns. Maybe there's no patterns. Maybe it's all just a fucking crapshoot. And do you know what I mean? Like I can say something like that, but it's based on 1 or 2 times. Maybe the 3rd time won't be like that. So
And we don't know.
I don't know. This is such a depressing video.
We'll put some funny music.
Oh. The nurse heard me. This is the other thing. Like immediately when you wake up from surgery, I was on the phone to the embryologist, and I appreciate them calling. Like it's no problem. But they're trying to make literally probably life or death decisions, and I'm off my face. Anyway, the nurse heard me because I was quietly just talking behind the curtain or whatever. And
you
the nurse
don't
came
have a volume.
Oh, I
when
do.
You're off your face.
No, I do in that situation because no, there's women next door who have been absolutely. You don't know. You never come with me. Anyway, I'm being very quiet. So the nurse sort of stuck her head around and she's like, "Are you right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm like, you know how it goes. And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Do you want an extra heat pack? Do you want a drink of water? I'll get you a heat pack." And she just went and got me some more heat packs, and I didn't need them, but I was like, "Thank you." And she's like, "Okay, right?" And she just wanted to do anything to be nice to me, and I was like, "It's so sweet."
How was your IV today?
Yeah, good.
Good IV?
Yeah, she was good.
Didn't take a few times?
No, she was good. She was very, like, in and out.
In and out.
Yeah. I think, so I accidentally found out that the woman before me was an interesting case, and all of them were rushing into the theatre to watch. So they didn't have a lot of time for me. I just felt all of a sudden they were here and they were doing my stuff, and then they all left. And I'm like, I know that there's a case going on in there at the moment. I don't know what it is, but, my main doctor came to do that procedure and they all wanted to go watch. So whatever they were doing must have been interesting. I was just... And I actually said that to the doctor who did me today. I said, I think something...
got done by a new doctor.
Got done, yeah. Well, I said to him, I think there's something interesting going on with the case before me. I said, no one's interested in me. I'm boring. And he said... It's always a good thing to be boring in these situations. And I said, absolutely, I agree with you. I wish we were more boring today. I wish we were the woman in the other room who got 23 eggs.
Oh, so you're saying the other room, which is where the case was?
Oh, no, I don't know what happened with her case. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like being boring would be really nice right now. So anyway, be boring. All right, this video is too long and depressing already. You're boring.
I'm boring. I know.
The other question is, are we wasting time that we should be using our other embryos? And do you know what I mean? Like, because the clock's running out on the other. But women get pregnant at like 45 and 46 with 49, younger eggs.
52.
With younger eggs though. Yeah. So younger eggs is what we care about, right?
We're sticking to the plan. Okay. Don't change it again.
I just don't want to waste time if it's the wrong choice. But
it's the choice for now.
It's going to be brutal.
It's our choice.
But we're doing all of this for maybe 1 or 2 embryos.
Okay, it's our choice.
But 1 more PGS normal would make a big difference. Okay, sorry. This video is really depressing and sad. We got to go.
Remember the funny music.
The funny music. Bye everyone. Sorry not to have better news.
Love you.